228, Truck 6, Truck 3, Battalion 3, and the on-call inspector. 2303 West 46th Street, number 208.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Sioux Falls Fire. Today we're going to look at the new dive team and what that means for Sioux Falls. We also are going to see the inspectors teach Augustana and USF residents hall staff on how to deal with fires in the dorms. And then we're going to look at unique drills at the training center that challenge our firefighters. All of this and more on this episode of Sioux Falls Fire.
I'm Ben Tracy, Operations Training Captain. We're out here at the training center. Today we have multi-company drills going on that involve vehicle fires and auto extrication. We've performed a unique scenario for our crews to where they have to perform both disciplines, I guess, at the same time. So they arrive on scene and there's a vehicle that needs extrication, but also a vehicle on fire. That creates a place that the captains don't normally see, and they have to make choices on what tactics they want to use to provide a survivable environment for the victims trapped in the car. They need to think quickly on their feet and perform fire attack or extinguish the fire as soon as they can, and then the other crew usually comes in and does auto extrication using the jaws of life and cutters and spreaders to cut away the metal from the vehicle and perform EMS on our crew, on the victims. We have our EMS educators on scene also, so that our crews can get takeaways as far as trauma care and burn care and how to best treat the people that are inside the vehicles. Because we have a lot of crews going through this evolution, we've tried to create unique scenarios that they may not see every day. To keep that with surprise and training for our remaining crews that still need to do this drill. We won't dive too deep into it, but they are tasked with every rank has to perform decisions on how to best mitigate the situation, and so there's a lot of takeaways from these scenarios. It's a very busy, fluid, dynamic scene. Everybody is pretty much hands-on between using the extrication tools or putting water on the fire, utilizing the hose, setting up the truck, pumping, and water supply, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of tasks for two crews that need to happen in a short time frame, and it's a challenging crew that our crews get a lot of experience and a lot of benefits and takeaway from. Sioux Falls Fire Rescue is fortunate that we get to perform at least 3 fire tactic-based drills, whether that be searching and rescuing or special operations. Today is our live fire drill for the year. We do our best to facilitate time where every company in the city gets to come and perform on the training facility. That's 3 shifts, and then we have 12 stations to give a good example and a good training element to all our crews. So the way these evolutions are created, it gives freedom for the crews to make the choices that they feel best. We have multiple instructors on scene, and we take notes throughout the day to take back information so that our crews can benefit from the knowledge we gain out here by seeing it multiple times. These evolutions have different characteristics, whether it be the weather and the wind conditions, or it could be even how easily or hard a vehicle is damaged and how easy it can be to extricate them, or it could create more challenges that weren't intended.
Hello, this is Barry Maag, Fire Inspector, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue. Today we're out here at Augustana University giving an annual training to the resident assistants, the directors of the residence halls, on the basics of fire safety, not only for the university, but things that they can use for the rest of their life. We're teaching them the basics of fire extinguisher safety, how to properly use an extinguisher, when to use an extinguisher, how to evacuate the residence hall if there's ever an incident in that residence hall, and anything that we can do to keep them safe, not only here in college, but as they move on in life. So not only do we teach them the basics of fire safety and how to be safe, we also have a lot of fun with them. So we have a practical fire extinguisher trainer where they can use a fire extinguisher to put out a fire. And then we have a little firefighter combat challenge for them where they can pull a hose, drag a dummy, do some exercises, and get their bodies moving and get pumped up for today. And then we have a high-rise rescue, as you can probably see going on in the background. We have a couple of students trapped in an 8th-story window. Use our bucket truck 3 here to go up, rescue them, get them down safely, so they can share that experience with their classmates and other students on exactly what to do if you're trapped. And just be patient, we're gonna get you down safely. So the main reason that we're doing this here today, we did this earlier this week at the University of Sioux Falls, and today we're here at Augustana University. Between those two universities, we have about 3,500 students that live on campus in the dorms, and these RAs are going to keep those kids safe and tell them what they learned today during their orientation so that they can keep themselves safe now and into the future.
Hi, my name is John Fischer. I'm a captain on Sioux Falls Fire Rescue for Heavy Rescue 1. We're here at Drake Springs this morning getting some of our confined space dives in with Landshark, who's our instructor. This is our new program that we're putting together for the dive rescue program. The goal for Sioux Falls Fire Rescue is going to have dive swimmers in the water with patient contact within 15 minutes. Currently, Minnehaha County uses emergency management personnel to take care of all of our dives, anything deep below subsurface. So our goal is to work alongside with EM, making patient contact and recovering our patients, hopefully viable victims. Yeah, the reason a lot of this goal or this program came about is we're getting more retention ponds within the city of Sioux Falls. Our industry is growing bigger. We're getting more standing water. Currently, we can't go subsurface with anything now, so our goal is to get our divers ready to go so we can go subsurface. We do understand that majority of our water is going to be less than 20 feet. We're not going to be going a whole lot deeper than that, just because of the water that's in our area. So currently our gear is in the ordering process. We're borrowing Landshark's gear for the training process of it. Once our gear does show up, the plan is to put gear on battalion rigs. Each individual have their own gear, so all they're going to need to have is a tank when they show up on scene. There will be a call out just like there would be for a USAR call out, with a text message group saying we've got a rescue happening, personnel respond to here. On-duty personnel are going to make the initial actions with off-duty personnel and emergency management assisting them in the process. We will have, after this class is done, we should have approximately 10 personnel from Sioux Falls Fire that are certified in open water. And then after the weekend, DR1 will be certification as well. PD is going to work on their side. We will work alongside with PD personnel, EM, and Sioux Falls Fire Rescue.
Hi, I'm Colonel Echols with Landshark, Scuba, and Snorkel Center. We've been here for about 20 years. I'm really excited to be a part of the new program that the fire department and police department are putting together. They're going to have their own water rescue teams that are going to be able to respond faster and better to water emergencies that we have around the area. Having been an emergency management dive team participant in the past, a lot of our challenges were we couldn't get there soon enough or get there fast enough with the right kind of gear. This is really a good opportunity for the whole community to be safer, and we've got so much more going on in the water nowadays that everybody's doing things, and there's always a need for, we don't want it, but we want to be prepared for it. And with the training these guys are doing with us and to get open water certified, and then they're using DR1 for Dive Rescue International, are going to be able to give them more in-depth for, even like for the police, for recovering evidence and things like that. It's going to be a whole lot bigger, broader spectrum of this, and it's just going to be better for the whole community. Okay, in the past, emergency management has always relied on volunteers that are generally a recreational diver with very little advanced training. This gives us a lot more depth in the community. The teams are going to be, they get open water certified. That takes them, you're going to have 3-phase process. Total is going to be about a week's long of training in classroom and in pool, and then we go to open waters. Rescue teams are going to do even another step further, which gives them even more flexibility, because most of the time when we're in the water looking for in an emergency situation, it's not good clear water. It's really rough, it's nasty, and you got to be really careful what you say when you talk to yourself. Not everybody's going to be able to do that. In the past, we've had volunteers and we train for it and we work through it, but it's not the same as when you've really gone in depth, and it's the difference more like between a hobby and a profession, and these guys are definitely going to be professional. Emergency teams, they're going to do continuing education all the time through, keeping their skills sharp, new things that come up, new tools that come out. So they're going to be continually training to stay sharp and on edge.
Captain Phil Paszkiewicz, assigned Truck 3 out of Station 3. We're out here today at the old County Work Release building doing some flat roof ventilation. So covering some of the difficulties we'll encounter while we work on a structure fire that entails these types of buildings. For us, it's a lot of work with the saws, a lot of manpower for, clearing out the insulation. With our type of climate, there's typically quite a bit of insulation we need to work through, and then cutting a hole to let out the hot gases that are underneath to assist with our engine companies below, trying to extinguish the fire. So it makes conditions better for inside for not only our firefighters, but any victims inside. So for us, we're working at trying to get that whole location as close to the fire as safely possible, and then making that hole as large as we can. So we're fortunate here in Sioux Falls. We have the opportunity to work on whether it's abandoned buildings or city-owned buildings. It's a great experience for our crews. In the event we have a fire in a building like this, we're able to kind of pre-plan or learn in advance some of the challenges we'll encounter. So this building in particular, we have a lot of insulation for that roof with different thicknesses. So in one area we may have 6 inches of insulation that we deal with that we have to kind of get to before we can start cutting that roof and get through to 12 inches in some areas. So these types of challenges we'll find on the fire ground, and it's good to practice them beforehand. Instead of having to do it, when it really matters when there's a fire, we can kind of have all of our guys know their jobs and know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. So just like any sports team, a lot of the things we do with our crew is everybody has a design task or a role that they fill no matter what our assignments are. With opportunities like this, we're able to kind of see some of the differences that we saw or things that we do that can kind of fine tune, so when we have that real emergency, we can really work with the best efficiency that we can. And then also some of the things that we encountered and then the other crews encounter at our station we talk about, and to really try to create the best product that we can to be the best and provide the best service that we can for the city.
Hi, my name's FAO Sharpe. I'm down at Central Fire Station right now, and today we're out here working with our new side sonar system. It's kind of something new for our department, and we're just all getting trained up on it for the USAR program. Yeah, it's basically like a fish finder. It's projecting a scan down and out or whatever from the boat, anywhere from 50 feet out to, I think they said it can go out to like 100 feet. We'll use it for victim removals or body recoveries. If we have a potential drowning or whatever, we'll try and get out here and throw this on. It shows up as a small image at first, and then we can use the down scan as well, and it'll start giving us a clearer picture once we come to a more exact location. So once we find our point where we think the victim might be at or whatever, we'll set up a couple guys with the drag system. Basically, it's got a couple hooks on it, and they're just dragging. It goes clear down to the bottom and just drags along, and then it snags on whatever. And if they feel like they have a snag, then they'll pull it up and see what they got. Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things that we have to train on because we do have drownings or whatever, and so this training is useful. It helps us be maybe more efficient at our time, because by the time we get the call and get to the body of water or whatever, there's that delay in time, so we got to be more proficient when we're on the water with the boats and with the new sonar system that hopefully comes with a better outcome. I mean, we got 2 boat packages, one's at 8, one's at Station 12. They're both set up identical or whatever. They got 2 different kinds of boats on them. They got the hard bottom, and they got the Zodiacs, and it depends on the situation, if we're going the river or if we're going on a static body of water, which one you might use.
Thanks for watching this episode of Sioux Falls Fire. For more information, go to siouxfalls.org/fire.